Hello, so this is Marco, and before you start wondering where Bella is, so we've had a problem that's plagued our marriage for the longest time ever, I say for the best part of 12 years, because that's the amount of time that we've actually been married. And that problem is right above us. I'm just gonna go up this chair, as you can see, I'm up here, and it's called arachnophobia. So you see this guy over here, he's been the problem of our marriage.
I do not know what this guy is talking about. Okay.
I know exactly what I'm talking about. So this is exactly what happened. So we were driving on a dual carriageway. I think in America you call it a freeway, something like that, right? And we're coasting along. You know, everything's normal. And then all of a sudden, Bethel starts screaming and yelling at the top of her voice. I'm like, whoa, what's going on, Bethel? And she's like, stop the car, stop the car. I'm confused because I'm like, what on earth are you talking about? We're driving on a dual carriageway. There's no way I'm just going to stop in the middle of this. But it's like, stop the car. Ah!
Such an exaggerator. He says, I'm the drama queen.
No, this is exactly what was going on. And so I'm like...
I was more like, oh my gosh, oh my god.
No, you weren't. No, it wasn't that graceful at all, at all. It was full on screaming, yelling, throwing her stuff out the pram, you know. And then, so I'm like, what? And then what I noticed at the time was that there was
It wasn't small.
It was a spider. There was a spider coming out. It came out from the dash. I mean, it was like literally one of those movies. Like dun 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 dun, you know. But it was small. It was like, you know, if anything, he was probably confused. Like, why on earth is this human being just like being all dramatic? And so I'm like, whoa, Bethel, come on, just, you know, do your thing.
He wanted me to get rid of the spider. And I was like, I can't get rid of the spider. That reminds me of the time of the bee. Do you remember the time of the bee? Okay, you weren't in the car.
Oh no, yeah, this is something else. I have no idea. But as you can see, we've been plagued in our marriage. And so what's happened as a result of this is there's been moments where I've been chilling out and all of a sudden I hear Beth go, like screaming from upstairs. And I'm wondering what's going on. You know, run up there thinking, oh my goodness, you know, somebody's probably broken into her house. And lo and behold, what's broken into the house, or more like into her space, is just this, yeah.
And what's the moral of the story, Mark?
Well, I guess the moral of the story is I'm sure every guy could probably relate to this. I don't know, but it might be different in some relationships where, you know, maybe the guy... Because I do remember I had one friend when we were younger. We went to this hotel and all of a sudden this guy, you know, he did a matrix levitation from the ground onto the bed, like reverse. It was like reverse mode, you know. And I'm wondering what on earth is going on. And then, yeah, behind the mirror, which is a massive mirror, as a spider. I mean, it was only yay big. It wasn't a big one at all. So I had to dispose of it. So I guess the moral of the story is that, well, there's a book about this, and the book is called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. Feel the fear and do it anyway.
So feel the fear of the spider.
And I guess I'm saying feel the fear of the spider. You know, actually take that in. What is that fear? You know, I fear that I might...
What is the spider in your life, guys?
Yeah, well, there you go. Now he's starting to talk. Now she's got it. Yeah, what's the spider in your life?
So if there's any spiders in your life that are creeping, crawling, and getting too close to you...
And you end up yelling for help. Well, actually, it's not even help.
Yelp for help.
You're just yelping. That's from...
Yelp for help is an advert, I think.
No, that's from those the cartoons. The dogs. What are they called?
Oh, Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol. That's what happens when you got kids.
Yes, just yelp for help.
What's his name? I think it's not Charlie's. I remember the blue one.
Oh, who knows?
I can't remember. But
Marshall.
Anyway. Marshall. No, Marshall's a red one.
Anyway.
It'll come back to us.
But yeah, I guess. Well, the book was actually really helpful. If you want to read Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, it actually does help
Paw Patrol. I was like,
not Paw Patrol. Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. I did read it, and to be honest with you, it was really an amazing book, and it just talked about how, like, fear is a normal emotion that you will feel when you're doing something you have not done before and you don't know what the outcome's going to be. You're going to feel that fear.
Or you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel prepared.
Or something's coming at you and you've never ever
experienced it before. True.
But Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway was an amazing book where the woman just talked about actually you have to go through that. You have to feel that fear, but push yourself into the place where you do that so you can overcome.
Well, now that Beth has poured out all these words of wisdom, let's find out, how's your progress with dealing with these spiders in your life? Should we call them bugs and spiders in your life?
Well, to be fair, there's spiders in this room and I haven't chucked them out of the house yet.
Or like the gal showing you in the corner there.
Yeah,
He's still there.
So I feel like I'm feeling the fear and surviving anyway. Like normally, I would not even sleep with a spider in the house.
Well, this is more like feel the fear and live with it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So like spiders are our friends, especially because my cousin loves them.
Oh, and I used to actually own a chili rose tarantula.
Yeah.
About this big.
He told me that, and I was like, "You are not bringing that into our house. Just get rid of that. That is not happening."
And then our son, all of a sudden, he's into snakes and all these, geckos. What's the big one? Iguanas and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh. So do you have any fears? Do you know what? This reminds me of this one girl, right? I had this dead beetle. It was a dead beetle. It was stuffed. My friend gave it to me because she used to collect stuffed insects, right? So I was leaving Zimbabwe. She gave me this dead beetle, and I really treasured it. It was a dead stuffed beetle. And
try going through immigration with it. It's like...
I did. It was in my bag.
Wow.
And then, I brought it to school at art. We're doing artwork. And then I put it on the table. And I didn't believe this girl when she said she had this, what is this bug phobia thing called? I don't know what it's called.
Arachnophobia?
No, that's for spiders. But she had a bug phobia, right? And I literally put it on the table. And she almost literally pushed the table over and started screaming and running away. And then the teacher...
She was doing exactly what Beth was doing in the car.
I got in trouble with the teacher because she was like, she's got... I was like, I didn't even know that was a real thing, to be honest.
True. So you're right, Bethel, in saying that, there are fears in our lives that can cripple us and debilitate us to the point where we can't actually think straight in terms of how to address the problem. Yeah. So here we're just simply saying, feel that fear, be able to, as we always say, journal, put it down somewhere where you can have a conversation and actually talk about it. Yeah. So I'm well aware that Bethel's not comfortable with bugs because she's told me over the years. It's been 12 years of bug download knowledge, all of it,
That reminds me of one of the good quotes from Will Smith. I know there's so much drama going on about Will Smith at the moment because he slapped somebody, but he said, what did he say? Fear is not real. Danger is. That was really powerful because I was like, actually, he was talking to his son in this movie they were talking about, and he was like, listen, you're going to feel fear. That part is not real. Danger is. So, like, I don't know, like the fear of falling, right? You have a fear of falling, which does not say that you're going to fall. If you do fall, the danger is that you're going to get hurt, right?
Bethel going all zen on us.
So it's about assessing what's the actual risk here. Is there an actual risk? Or am I just feeling the emotions of a
So tell me more, Bethel. Tell me more, because you're saying, the fear itself is not real, but the danger is. So tell us more.
So the fear is an emotion.
Just explore that and unpick that, when we're talking about the spiders and stuff.
Oh my God, he keeps coming back to the spider.
Well, that's what we were talking about.
Sometimes, if he's not there, I will have to deal with myself. Okay, it's just that when he's there, why not let him deal with it?
Wow.
Anyway, guys, what fears have you got in your life? Time
that
to reflect.
Are affecting your marriage. Yeah. I mean, the only way that this has affected us is that, for example, if I'm doing something really important, I have to drop that and run upstairs to have a quick conversation with this tiny little bug about nothing.
Games. He is so playing games. Anyways, but there's been real fears in our marriage, like that have plagued us. Like fears of, we've talked about in the finance thing, where you're afraid of a situation and then you're literally feeling those energies.
Oh, I got a good one. How about the fear of you telling someone the truth and fearing their reaction or their response? That's pretty interesting.
That's your biggest fear.
Yeah, because I realised that actually, it's funny you say that. I was actually journaling about it yesterday, because emotions are meant to actually help us. So they're meant to help us to be productive, because when you feel a certain fear, sometimes it can drive you to actually be, more productive, whatever that is. And so for me, I realised I have subdued my emotions for the longest time ever. I know we're digressing into something else here, but I think this is still important because these things are fear. And so as a result, my emotions haven't been able to serve me as well as they could have, right? So I'm at the place now where I'm beginning to actually allow myself to feel, and sometimes what that looks like is,
like the moment when
don't talk to me like that.
Through the journal.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah.
We talked about it.
It was in slow mo.
You can watch the video. But for real, like I think we'll do another video on intimacy and the 5 levels of intimacy. That is awesome. But for sure, Mark does have that fear of like, what is Bethel going to respond like when I tell her this information? And it's probably because early on in our marriage,
I think there's a word
I
about
wasn't like able to handle stuff.
I was just about to say about empirical evidence, in the sense that sometimes
empirical evidence.
Evidence
suggests.
When your evidence suggests exactly. When you notice a pattern, sometimes you go according to the pattern. And so, as you just said, well, I noted how Beth would respond sometimes. I realised actually sometimes it's not best just to tell her things as they are, and so just kind of not lie, not fabricate,
Just don't tell me.
but just refrain from actually telling them.
But we figured it out, didn't we? We
We
figured
did.
it out like about 2 years ago, I think, during COVID, when we were stuck in a confined space. We were talking about the 5 levels of intimacy, which we'll talk about in a different video. And then we found out that actually Mark doesn't share as much as I thought he did.
And what's that about? I think.
We'll talk about that in the intimacy video, babe,
Oh, yeah,
because we're going into another topic.
Exactly.
But we'll see you there.
Exactly.